Okay, I'll show you one more, and this is the last one for tonight. This is also a constructor overload. And you notice that I created 3 student, right? Student here has no parameter. This one has 3 parameters. This one has 6 of them. Okay, so that means it has 6, so it's like pretty much complete, right? It has all these data that are needed for both the Java 1 and these 3 fields up here. Yeah, so this method here, you see that it has a constructor for the student class. Okay, it's not the one that we're doing, but kind of similar. It has the first constructor has both fields, the number and the GPA, and it assigns those 2 fields with these 2 incoming data. Okay. The other constructor down here takes only the average, and the third one takes only the number. So instead of setting the numbers or the data inside each of these constructors, you will pass the data received in this example, just the average, and you still have to set the data for the student ID. So you pass a default number to the student ID, which is 999. And you call the constructor above it here, the constructor that has both parameters. You call that constructor inside the same class by using the keyword this. Okay, this followed by a pair of parentheses, and then here you will match the constructor that has the matching data. And it's the same for the other ones. So this one here, the first one, the average is provided, the ID was not provided, so you manually you have to include that in there, 9999 or 999. The third constructor has only the number for the student ID. The GPA is not provided, so you provide 00.0. And then the blank one down the bottom has no data passed to it, so you still have to set those 2 fields, and then you pass in 999 and 0.0 to the constructor that has all the fields. Okay, so that you don't have to type that many times. I don't have to set every time inside my constructor, like I did here. Here I set the student ID, I set the hours, I set the GPA, and then I compute, and I set the Java again. I do exactly the same thing here, right? Set student ID, set course points, compute GPA, Java. Okay. It's the same thing, except I'm just passing different data to it. So let's just say that the default is going to be 999 anyway, and the points earned is 3 and 12. So these are the default data if nothing is passed to it. So this constructor on the bottom here, it takes all 3 of those fields plus the default for the Java course. So I can make this my primary constructor. So what I mean is that here in this empty constructor, instead of doing all these here, I could just replace all of these by calling this followed by the student ID is 9999 as a default. Default is 3 points earned, 12 for that point, credits earned, 12 points earned, and the course is JV 101, and the course title is Java 1, and number of credit is 3. So then I don't have to use these anymore. I can comment those out. So if I were to remove them, you see that it's really short, just one line. Right? I'm calling the other constructor because I'm passing this data to this constructor down here. Okay? It has everything. It sets everything for me in here already. So I just pass to that, and I'll just put this back in here. Okay? So I'll just have one put on the top. And do the same thing for the other one. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. whatever is provided to me from the constructor here, I'll replace these. If I don't, I'll keep as is. So I got the student ID, so I'll replace that student ID here. It's a dynamic data. I'll replace the credits. I'll replace the points. The other three were not provided, so they are default. Okay. And if you have another one that has only the student ID, another one has only the credits, and so on, and again, you just copy this line and replace the variable that is passed to it. The others can stay as default. And so the bottom one here, this is the main one because it does everything for me. So it does everything for me. And so you can still call this one directly, or you can call either one of these up here, and it should still work. Okay. And just to show that it does, we'll change this Java 101 to maybe Java 111. And again, I'll just put 111 here. So that's another thing. Here I'm using the actual data passed to it. You could use this as a variable name, like put a variable up here somewhere and pass in a variable name, so you don't have to do that like X number of times. So if I save and run this, again, you see it's the same as before, right? We just change JV111 for this and this third student. Second it was Java 2, and the third is JV103. This is the one we set over here. So I'm passing to the third constructor. This is the second constructor, and this is the first constructor. Has no parameter. So it's very helpful and makes the code really short. Okay, so you can call another constructor inside your constructor the same class using this keyword. Okay, so you have to mention the class name, just this, and it's understood. And later on, when we learn about inheritance, you can use something similar to call another class's constructor. Here I'm calling the constructor inside the same class. I can call like if the student is a subclass of another class, I can call its constructor and not the constructor in here. So we'll learn that later. Okay, so this is helps you to reduce your code. I just reduced like 4 here, 5 lines, 10. So I saved 10 lines of code.